My name is Reagan Harden, 38 years old, and I haven't spoken to my parents in 19 years. The last time I saw my father, Dr. Jonathan Carlisle, chair of the Oregon Medical Board, he told me I was throwing away 4 generations of healers for a man who fixes wires. My mother, Dr. Rebecca Carlisle, head of pediatrics at Portland Children's Hospital, handed me a garbage bag for my things and said, "You're not our daughter anymore." I was 19, 7 months pregnant, and the man who fixes wires was standing outside in November rain, holding an engagement ring he'd bought with 3 months of overtime. They didn't know that the man they dismissed would become the best father our daughter could ask for. And they certainly didn't know that 19 years later, a newspaper headline would force them to confront exactly what kind of healers they really were. This is that story. It was Thanksgiving 2006. 12 relatives around my parents' dining table in Portland Heights, the neighborhood where doctors and lawyers prove they've made it. Every single person at that table had doctor or esquire before their name. Except Tyler. He wasn't even supposed to be there. I'd told my parents we were just dating, but I was 7 months pregnant, and hiding it under oversized sweaters had stopped working around October. My mother noticed first. She always noticed everything. "Reagan," she said, voice cutting through dessert conversation like a scalpel through skin. "Stand up." I stood. The room went quiet. 12 pairs of eyes locked onto my stomach. My father set down his fork. The Carlisle family crest hung behind him on the wall. "Sanare est munus, to heal is our duty." My grandmother had founded Oregon's first women's medical practice in 1952. That crest was our religion. "How far along?" my father asked. "7 months. And the father?" Tyler Grayson. "He's an electrician. We're getting married." My uncle, cardiac surgeon, West Coast pioneer in valve replacement, actually laughed. "An electrician? Reagan, please tell me this is some kind of stress-induced delusion." My mother didn't laugh. She pulled out a manila folder from the sideboard drawer. Pre-planned, she'd known. Of course she'd known. "I had Morrison and Associates run a background check," she said, sliding the folder across the table. 3 weeks ago." The room temperature dropped 20 degrees. She opened the folder. Tyler James Grayson, age 21, high school diploma, Portland Community College trade certificate. Father, Walter Kenneth Grayson, medical license revoked 1993, Oregon Medical Board case number 93-1847. Charged with illegally prescribing controlled substances to wealthy patients in exchange for money. Abandoned family 1995. Current whereabouts unknown. She looked up at me. "You want to tie our family name to a disgraced doctor's son? A high school graduate who works with his hands?" I should have defended him. I should have walked out right then. Instead, I said, "Tyler's mother worked 3 jobs after his father left. School cafeteria, night custodian, weekend catering. Tyler started working at 14 to help support her. He's nothing like Walter." My father stood, 6'2", silver hair, voice that could silence hospital board meetings. "Reagan, you're going to terminate the pregnancy. I'll schedule the procedure myself. Confidential. You'll take a gap year, then start at Oregon Health Sciences University as planned. This mistake doesn't have to define your life." "I'm keeping the baby." Silence. "Then you're not keeping this family." My mother gave me 1 hour. It was 9:47 p.m. when I checked my phone, right before they shut off my family plan. Mid-text to Tyler. November 14th, 2006. Portland autumn. 41 degrees. Rain. I packed 2 garbage bags. Clothes. Photo album. My laptop. The acceptance letter from OHSU. Full scholarship. Pre-med. Framed since April. I left on my desk. Let them take it down themselves. As I walked down the stairs, my mother was already removing my senior portrait from the hallway wall. 12 other family photos stayed up. Just mine came down. "Mom," I said. My voice cracked. I hated that it cracked. "Please, I'm still your daughter." She didn't look at me. "No." You were my daughter. Now you're just a cautionary tale we'll tell at dinner parties. The front door was heavy oak, imported. My father had it installed when I was 10, after he made chief of the medical board. He said it was befitting our station. I pulled it open. Tyler's truck, 1998 Ford F-150, white with rust spots, passenger door that didn't lock properly, was idling at the curb. Exhaust mixing with rain. He saw me. Got out. Took the garbage bags without asking what happened. Put them in the truck bed. Covered them with a tarp so they wouldn't get soaked. Then he opened the passenger door. The interior light was broken, but I could see his face. 21 years old. Electrician's apprentice making $18 an hour. Wearing the only suit he owned, the one from his mother's funeral in 2003. I already called the courthouse, he said quietly. We can get married Friday. That's when I cried. Not when the door closed behind me. When Tyler opened the truck door and offered me a future. I tried once, just once. July 18th, 2006, 11:34 p.m. 1 month before Emma was due. I was sitting in our apartment, 480 square feet, SE 82nd Avenue, $650 a month, and I wrote an email. Subject: Please, Mom, Dad, Emma is due August 12th. The ultrasound shows she's healthy. Tyler got promoted to journeyman electrician. We found a small apartment in East Side. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm asking you to meet your granddaughter. Just once. Please. Reagan. I sent it at 11:34 p.m. I know because I stared at the timestamp for 3 hours, waiting for a response. It came at 8:02 a.m. the next morning. Dr. and Dr. Carlisle have asked me to inform you that they have no granddaughter. Please do not contact this email again. Patricia Henderson, Executive Assistant. Not even from them, from their assistant. I printed both emails, put them in a file folder, labeled it Emma's Story when she asks why she has no grandparents. She asked when she was 7. I told her, some families are smaller than others, but ours has all the love it needs. She never asked again. November 17th, 2006, Multnomah County Courthouse, room 301. Friday afternoon. The fluorescent lights hummed like dying bees. We needed 2 witnesses. We didn't have 2 witnesses. An elderly woman was sitting in the hallway, waiting for her friend's divorce hearing to finish. Her name was Helen Wu, 73, retired teacher. She agreed to sign our marriage certificate. The second witness was a lawyer named Marcus Johnson, 31, killing time between clients. He had kind eyes. He said, "You two look like babies yourselves." Tyler said, "We're old enough to know what we want." The judge was efficient. Maybe she'd seen too many shotgun weddings to care. Do you, Tyler James Grayson, take Reagan Carlisle to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Do you, Reagan Carlisle, take Tyler James Grayson to be your lawfully wedded husband? I looked at him. 21 years old, suit from his mother's funeral. Tungsten carbide ring we'd ordered online for $47. I do. Burn. We signed the certificate. I wrote, Reagan Carlisle Harden. Kept my maiden name as my middle name. Tyler noticed but said nothing. Cost: $60 for the marriage license. We walked out married. No reception, no family. No photos except the Polaroid Helen Wu insisted on taking with her camera. She mailed it to us 3 days later with a note. You'll want this someday, trust me. Helen. That photo is framed in our kitchen now. Tyler's hand on my 7-month belly. Both of us smiling like we'd just won something. We had. Emma Louise Grayson was born August 12, 2006. 7 pounds, 3 ounces. I remember the weight because my parents would have wanted to know. I almost called my mother from the hospital. Tyler saw me staring at my phone. Don't, he said gently. She didn't earn this. He was right. Our apartment was 480 square feet, 1 bedroom. We gave it to Emma. Tyler and I slept on a futon in the living room for 2 years. 90% of Emma's things came secondhand. Goodwill, Craigslist. The Facebook marketplace didn't exist yet, but if it had, we would have lived on it. Tyler worked 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. as an electrician, then 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., taking Craigslist handyman gigs, fixing ceiling fans, installing outlets, rewiring old houses where the owners couldn't afford a licensed contractor. I took medical coding classes online through Portland Community College, $800 per term. I studied while Emma napped, took exams while Tyler watched her, got my certification in 18 months. First job, medical billing clerk at OHSU. $18 an hour. The irony wasn't lost on me. I was coding surgeries at the same hospital where my parents worked. Different building, different department. We never crossed paths, but I saw my mother's name on paperwork sometimes. Dr. Rebecca Carlisle, pediatrics. Her signature on consultation notes. I'd code the visits, bill the insurance, make sure the families didn't go bankrupt. That was healing too, just not the kind my parents recognized. One night, Emma spiked a fever. 103.2 degrees Fahrenheit. She was 11 months old. I grabbed my phone. My mother's number was still saved. Dr. Rebecca Carlisle, head of pediatrics. She would know what to do. My thumb hovered over the call button. Tyler saw me, didn't say anything, just gently took the phone from my hand and said, "We'll take her to the ER. We'll figure it out." The bill was $1,200. We set up a payment plan, $50 a month for 2 years. We figured it out. March 15th, 2008. The housing market had just crashed. Foreclosures everywhere. Banks desperate to sell. We found a house. Southeast Portland. 4521 Southeast Hawthorne Boulevard. 3 bedrooms. Built in 1952. The wiring was a disaster. Knob and tube, aluminum, amateur DIY fixes that should have burned the place down years ago. The realtor said most buyers were scared of the work. Tyler walked through with a voltage tester and a flashlight, checked every outlet, every switch, every junction box. "Wiring is a mess," he told me in the kitchen. "But I can fix it." "How long?" 3 months, nights and weekends. "Can we afford it?" He pulled out the inspection report, highlighted the problems, showed me the comps. "With the crash, this place is $165,000. We have $8,000 saved. That's enough for the down payment. Mortgage'll be about $950 a month. Less than rent once I finish the repairs, and we get it reappraised." I looked at him. "You've already done the math." "I always do the math." We bought it. Tyler rewired the entire house in 11 weeks, every night after work, every weekend. Emma, 18 months old, would sit in her pack and play, watching her dad pull wire through walls. Her first full sentence wasn't "I love you," it was "Daddy fix light." Close enough. We painted Emma's room yellow, her favorite color. Tyler installed a ceiling fan with a star pattern light that made constellations on her walls at night. The day we moved in, Tyler was rewiring the kitchen. He pulled off an old outlet cover, and a piece of newspaper fell out, stuffed in the wall as insulation, common in old houses. He unfolded it. The Oregonian, March 17, 1993. Doctor loses license in prescription scandal. Oregon Medical Board revokes Dr. Walter Grayson's credentials after investigation into illegal controlled substance distribution. His father's name. Front page, local section. I was in the living room, unpacking boxes. I heard Tyler go outside, smelled smoke a few minutes later. When I came out, he was standing by the burn barrel we'd been using for construction debris. The newspaper was ash. "Found some old trash in the walls," was all he said. I didn't push. Emma started kindergarten at Bridal Mile Elementary in fall 2011. First day of school, Tyler showed up in his work truck and rewired the school's main electrical panel. Volunteer work, no charge. The principal tried to pay him. He refused. "My daughter goes here," he said. I want it safe. 5th grade, 2015, Science Fair. Emma's project, How Electricity Works, from Power Plant to Light Bulb. Tyler helped her build a model circuit with LEDs and a 9-volt battery. She won first place. The judge asked her, "Did your parents help you?" Emma said, "My dad's an electrician. He taught me everything." The judge smiled. "What do your parents do?" "My dad fixes electricity. My mom fixes hospital bills so people don't go broke. They both help people." We got the blue ribbon, framed it. It's still on her wall. Middle school, 2018. Emma came home one day, quiet. Wouldn't talk during dinner. Finally, after Tyler went to check the mail, she said, "Mom, why don't I have grandparents?" I'd been preparing for this question for 12 years. "Some families are smaller than others," I said carefully. "My parents and we disagreed about something important a long time ago. They made a choice. So did I. And now we don't talk." "What did you disagree about?" "They didn't think your dad was good enough. I thought he was perfect." She thought about that. "Were they right? What do you think?" She looked at the kitchen. Tyler had just installed under-cabinet lighting that week, LED strips he'd gotten at cost through a supplier friend. The whole room glowed warm. "I think they were wrong," Emma said. "Me too." She never asked about them again. High school. Lincoln High, Portland. Emma graduated June 2024. GPA 4.0 unweighted. SAT 1,520. Not perfect, but excellent. College acceptances: Oregon State, full ride; Portland State, University of Oregon. She chose Oregon State, pre-med. "Why pre-med?" I asked her. "You know you don't have to prove anything, right? You don't have to become a doctor just because—" "Mom," she interrupted, "I want to be a doctor because you and Dad showed me that helping people isn't about prestige. It's about showing up. You code surgeries. Dad rewires homes. I want to heal people. That's it." She paused. "And maybe I want to prove that you can become a doctor without a medical dynasty behind you. That it's about what you do, not who you're related to." Tyler leaning in the doorway. "You're already ahead of most med students, kid. You know what real work looks like." I spent 15 years in medical administration. Never became a doctor. But I worked in the system. 2008 to 2012. Medical billing clerk. OHSU. $18 per hour. Same hospital where my parents worked. Different building. I saw my mother once, across the cafeteria. She didn't see me, or pretended not to. 2012 to 2016. Medical coding supervisor, Providence, Portland. $32 per hour. Managed a team of 8. We coded everything. ER visits, surgeries, transplants. I got good at it, really good. 2016 to 2020. Hospital Operations Coordinator, Legacy Emmanuel. $55,000 per year. Salary, not hourly. Benefits, retirement matching. 2020 to 2024. Revenue Cycle Director, Salem Hospital. $78,000 per year. I moved us out of Portland's immediate orbit. Salem was 45 miles south. Far enough that I wouldn't accidentally run into my parents at Whole Foods. I got my certifications: CPC, Certified Professional Coder; CHAA, Certified Healthcare Access Associate. Framed them, hung them in my office. Tyler used to joke, "You've got more letters after your name than some of those doctors you work with." "Not the ones that matter," I'd say. "The ones that matter are on the paychecks," he'd reply. "You're keeping people from going bankrupt. That's healing." September 2019. The Oregonian ran a profile piece. Dr. Rebecca Carlisle, honored for 30 years of pediatric service. There was a photo. My mother, 60 years old, accepting an award from the Oregon Medical Association. Smiling, surrounded by colleagues. The article mentioned her dedication to family-centered care. I read it in my office. Printer paper copy someone had left in the break room. I don't know why I picked it up. I lasted 3 paragraphs before I had to stop. Tyler found me in the bathroom at home that night. I'd crumpled the article in my hand. He didn't ask, just held me. Let me cry. Threw the article away when I was done. We never talked about it. Tyler filed the paperwork. Grayson Electric, LLC, Oregon, CCB license number 237891. It started small, just Tyler. Then he hired an apprentice, kid named Danny, 19, reminded me of Tyler at that age. Then another, then a third. By 2024, Grayson Electric was Tyler plus 3 apprentices. 2 white Ford Transit vans with Grayson Electric in blue letters. Office in our spare bedroom. Revenue, about $180,000 a year. Not Fortune 500. But stable, honest. Tyler's specialty. Residential rewiring. Solar panel installation. The kind of work that kept families safe. His philosophy. Do it right, not fast. Treat every home like it's your own. First big job. Rewiring a historic home in Ladd's Addition. Built 1909. Gorgeous craftsman. Original knob and tube wiring. The owners, retired teachers, had been quoted $65,000 by another contractor. Tyler bid $45,000. They almost didn't believe him. "You're leaving $20,000 on the table," the husband said. Tyler shrugged. "I'm leaving you with safe wiring and money for your grandkids' college fund. That's worth more." They hired him. Took 6 weeks. When he finished, they cried. Said he'd saved their home. Word spread. Grayson Electric's reputation. Honest, fair, excellent work. Tyler never advertised. Didn't need to. Portland's a small town when you do good work. Summer 2023. Emma worked for her dad. Assistant, $15 an hour. She learned basic electrical, how to strip wire, read a circuit diagram, test voltage. Tyler taught her the same way he'd taught his apprentices, patiently, carefully, with respect for the danger. "Electricity doesn't care about your intentions," he told her. "It only cares about the path you give it. Medicine's the same. You can want to heal someone, but if you don't know what you're doing, you'll hurt them. Knowledge protects people." Emma, pulling wire through a conduit. "Is that why you never went back to school? Because you already had the knowledge?" "Partly, and partly because I had you and your mom. School would have meant less time with you. I didn't want less time." "Do you regret it?" "Not even a little." September 3rd, 2025, Wednesday morning, 9:42 a.m. I was at work, Salem Hospital, Revenue Cycle Office. Tyler was home, planning a job bid. FedEx knocked. Tyler signed for a thick envelope. International shipping, return address, Ashworth and Klein International Law, Sydney, Australia. He called me. "Babe, we got something weird." "Weird how?" "Lawyers from Australia. Envelope weighs like 2 pounds." "Open it." He did. I heard paper rustling. A long silence. "Tyler?" His voice was flat, distant. "It's from my father." I drove home. 45 minutes, Salem to Portland. Broke every speed limit. Tyler was sitting at the kitchen table. The letter laid out in front of him. He'd read it 3 times, he said. Couldn't make it make sense. I picked it up. Ashworth and Klein International Law, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, September 3rd, 2025. Mr. Tyler James Grayson, 4521 S.E. Hawthorne Boulevard, Portland, OR 97215R.E. Estate of Walter Kenneth Grayson. Notification of inheritance. Dear Mr. Grayson, this firm represents your father, Walter Kenneth Grayson, D.O.B., March 17, 1959, currently residing in Perth, Western Australia. We are writing to inform you that you have been named sole beneficiary of Mr. Grayson's estate, valued at approximately 15.3 million Australian dollars, 10.2 million US dollars. Your father wishes to meet you before his passing. Attached, please find medical documentation regarding his current health status and a matter of some urgency requiring your review. We understand this notification may come as a shock. Mr. Grayson has instructed us to make clear. The inheritance is irrevocable and unconditional. However, he respectfully requests the opportunity to speak with you regarding a time-sensitive medical situation. Please contact our office at your earliest convenience. Sincerely, Jonathan Ashworth, Senior Partner. I looked at Tyler. $10 million. Keep reading, he said quietly. I flipped through the attachments. Estate summary, will draft, DNA test offer. He'd even thought of that, proving paternity after 30 years. Then the medical files. My hands stopped. I've spent 15 years coding medical records. I can read a chart faster than most doctors. Patient. Walter Kenneth Grayson, D.O.B. March 17, 1959, age 66. Diagnosis, end-stage renal disease, ESRD, stage 5, CKD. Current treatment, hemodialysis, 3 times weekly. GFR, 8 milliliters per minute per 1.73 meters squared, normal greater than 90. Prognosis without transplant, 6 to 18 months, Australian transplant. Waitlist, 4 to 7 years, low priority due to age. I looked up. He's dying. Tyler's face was stone. He left when I was 10. I'm 40 now, 30 years, and now he wants to talk because he's dying? There's more. I kept flipping, found the transplant coordinator's note. Urgent living donor search initiated June 2025. Familial match priority. Patient has one biological son, Tyler Grayson, age 40, Oregon, USA. Investigating extended family for potential donors. I felt cold. Tyler, he's not just looking for you, he's looking for a kidney. The next section was a private investigator's report. Gibson and Associates, Perth. Dated July to August 2025, they'd been watching us. Subject surveillance summary. Target, Tyler James Grayson plus family. Duration, July 15th to August 30th, 2025. Family composition, Tyler James Grayson, 40. Master Electrician. Owner, Grayson Electric, LLC, Regan. Carlisle, Hardin, 38. Revenue Cycle Director, Salem Hospital. Emma Louise Grayson, 19. Oregon State University, Pre-Med Year 1. Findings. Subjects reside 4,521, SE, Hawthorne, Portland, Oregon. Owned mortgage balance $127,000. Combined household income, approximately $165,000 per year. No criminal records, credit scores 720, plus Emma Grayson, blood type O positive, date of birth August 12, 2006. Strong familial bonds observed, no contact with maternal grandparents, Carlisle family, since 2006. Medical records obtained via Australian court order for transplant matching. Emma Grayson, blood type O+, no significant medical history, excellent health. Recommendation: approach via legal representation. Direct contact likely to be rejected given estrangement history. There were photos. Emma on Oregon State's campus, August 15th, 2025. First day of classes. She was wearing her backpack, smiling, talking to another student. Tyler at a job site, July 22nd, installing a solar panel. Me leaving Salem Hospital, July 18th, coffee cup in hand. They'd been following us for 6 weeks. Tyler's hands shook when he saw Emma's photo. He's been watching our daughter. His voice wasn't angry, it was something colder, protective. We need to talk to Emma, I said. September 10th, follow-up email from Ashworth and Klein. Mr. Grayson, we understand this is overwhelming. Mr. Walter Grayson does not expect forgiveness. However, he wishes to 1. Meet you and your family, all expenses paid, Perth or Portland, your choice. 2. Establish inheritance trust, 10.2 million US dollars, transferred immediately upon his passing regardless of any other decisions. 3. Discuss a matter of medical urgency. He requires a kidney transplant. Initial HL. A typing suggests you and Slash or your daughter Emma may be compatible donors. He asks only for the chance to explain and to ask for help. Time sensitive. Please respond within 14 days. Respectfully, Jonathan Ashworth. Tyler read it twice. Then he looked at me. He wants Emma's kidney. I chose my words carefully. He wants to meet her. The kidney is... bullshit. Tyler's voice was flat, certain. If he dies, we get the money anyway. The trust is irrevocable. He doesn't need our cooperation for that. So why is he asking to meet us? Why now? Because he needs something from us first. He was right. I knew he was right. What do we tell Emma? I asked. Tyler stared at the email for a long time. Then he said, the truth. All of it. And then we let her decide about her own body. Because that's what parents do. They protect their kids' choices, not make choices for them. September 12th. Tyler sent a one-sentence reply. I need to talk to my daughter first. She's 19. She decides about her own body. The lawyers responded within an hour. Understood. We respect that completely. Please let us know how you'd like to proceed. We had a week to figure out what to say. September 13th, 2025, 8:30 p.m. Kitchen table. Same table where we'd eaten dinner as a family for 17 years. Emma was home from Oregon State for the weekend. She knew something was wrong. We'd asked her to come home midweek, unusual. Tyler had printed everything. The lawyer's letter, the medical files, the PI report. He spread it all out like evidence. Emma, he started, you need to know something about my father. I haven't talked about him much because there wasn't anything good to say. Emma's face was calm, analytical. I know he left you when you were a kid. Mom told me when I was 14. I'd told her the basics. Abandoned family. Hasn't been in contact. Tyler doesn't talk about him. Tyler nodded. He's dying, kidney failure. And he's rich. Built some kind of pharmaceutical company in Australia. He wants to meet us. Emma waited. She knew there was more. And, I said quietly, he needs a kidney transplant. He's been on dialysis since June. The Australian wait list is 4 to 7 years. At his age, he won't survive that long. Emma's eyes sharpened, pre-med brain activating. So he's looking for a living donor, family match. Yes. And you think I might be compatible? Tyler handed her the PI report. He hired investigators. They got your blood type, medical history, without asking. Emma read the surveillance summary. Her jaw tightened when she saw the photos. He's been following me? For 6 weeks, I said, before contacting us. She set the papers down. Her voice was measured, clinical. What's his HLA type? Tyler blinked. His what? Human leukocyte antigen. For transplant matching, you need compatible blood type plus compatible tissue antigens. Did his lawyer send that information? I found the medical file, handed it to her. Emma read it like a doctor reviewing a chart. 90 seconds of silence. He's O positive. I'm O positive. That's compatible. But blood type alone isn't enough. We'd need HLA typing to know if I'm actually a match. She looked up at us. You want to know what I think? Always, I said. I think, Emma said slowly, I want to get tested. Not because I'll donate, but because I want to know if I can. Information is power, right? And if I'm going to make a decision, I want it to be based on facts, not assumptions. Tyler's voice was careful. And if you are a match? Then I'll decide. But I need the data first. That's my daughter. 19 years old and already thinking like a scientist. I was terrified and proud in equal measure. September 15th. Oregon Health and Science University, Center for Health and Healing, 10th floor, Transplant Evaluation Clinic. Emma insisted on going alone to the first appointment. I'm an adult, I can handle a blood draw. But I went anyway, sat in the waiting room. Tyler took the morning off work, sat next to me. The transplant coordinator was a woman named Jennifer Walsh. RN, maybe 45, kind eyes, efficient manner. She called Emma back. 20 minutes later, Emma emerged with a bandage in the crook of her elbow. Phase 1 complete, Emma said. Blood typing confirmation, basic metabolic panel, pregnancy test. Pregnancy test? Tyler's voice went up half an octave. Emma rolled her eyes. Required for all female donors, Dad. Relax. It's negative. Jennifer Walsh appeared with a clipboard. Emma, we'll have preliminary results in a few days. If your blood work looks good, we'll move to HLA typing. That takes about a week, then cross-match testing. The whole evaluation process usually takes 2 to 4 months, but given the urgency of Mr. Grayson's condition, we can expedite. How expedited? I asked. 6 to 8 weeks for full clearance. We still need psych evaluation, independent donor advocate meetings, and ethics committee review. Emma nodded like this was a normal Tuesday. When will I know if I'm a compatible match? HLA results should be back by September 25th. We'll call you. September 25th, 3:17 p.m. I was in a budget meeting when my phone buzzed. Emma, HLA results are in. I'm a 5/6 antigen match. Coordinator says that's excellent for a grandparent-grandchild donor. I excused myself from the meeting, called her immediately. 5 out of 6? I asked. HLA-A, 2 out of 2. HLA-B, 2 out of 2. HLA-D-R, 1 out of 2. Overall, 5 out of 6 antigens match. That's really good, Mom. Like, statistically, that's better than most unrelated donors. Her voice was steady, factual, but I could hear something underneath. Uncertainty. How do you feel? I asked. Long pause. I don't know yet. Can you and Dad come over this weekend? I need to talk through some things. Of course. September 28th. Emma's dorm room. Oregon State, Corvallis, 90 miles south of Portland. Emma had printed out medical journal articles, spread them across her desk like she was preparing for an exam. Okay, she said. I need to understand this completely, so I researched. Tyler and I sat on her dorm bed. Emma stood, professor mode. Living kidney donation is major surgery. Laparoscopic nephrectomy. They take one kidney out through a 3 to 4 inch incision. Hospital stay, 2 to 3 days. Full recovery, 4 to 6 weeks. She pointed to a printout. Risks for me, 1 in 3,000 chance of death during surgery. Small but real. Long-term risk of kidney disease increases slightly. Not hugely, but it's there. If I ever need a transplant myself, I'd be lower priority because I only have one kidney. Tyler's face had gone pale. 1 in 3,000. It's the same risk as a C-section, Emma said. Low, but not zero, she continued. For pregnancy, if I ever have kids, one kidney means higher risk of preeclampsia, gestational hypertension, manageable, but something to monitor. And for Walter? I asked. 5-year survival rate with a 5/6 match from a living donor, 85 to 90%. That's really good. Way better than deceased donor or staying on dialysis. She sat down. So here's where I'm stuck. Medically, I can do this. The risks to me are small. The benefit to him is huge. But? Tyler prompted gently. But he's a stranger. I don't know him. He hurt you. And there's $10 million attached to this, which makes me wonder if I'm being... She struggled for the word. Coerced, I finished. Yeah. Tyler leaned forward. The money is yours either way. The trust is irrevocable. Even if you say no, when Walter dies, the money goes to me, which means it goes to our family. You're not choosing between helping him and getting paid. You're choosing between helping him and protecting yourself. Emma looked at him. And what would you choose? I don't know, Tyler said honestly. He left me when I was 10, didn't call, didn't write, 30 years of nothing. And now he shows up dying and rich and needing something. Part of me wants to tell him to go to hell. And the other part? Emma asked. The other part remembers being 10 years old and wondering if maybe I did something wrong. If maybe I wasn't good enough. And I wonder if meeting him would answer that question. Or just make it worse. Silence. Emma turned to me. Mom, what do you think I should do? I took a breath. I think you should do whatever lets you sleep at night. If you donate, you'll wonder if you did it for the right reasons. If you don't donate, you'll wonder if you should have. Either way, there's no perfect answer. So you pick the answer you can live with. October 1st. Email from Dr. Patricia Morrison, OHSU, Ethics Committee Chair. Dear Emma, your transplant evaluation has been flagged for Ethics Committee review due to the complexity of your case. 1. You have no prior relationship with the recipient, estranged grandfather. 2. Financial inheritance, $10.2 million, creates potential coercion. Concern 3. You are a pre-med student, which may create pressure to save lives. 4. Family dynamics are complicated. Recipient abandoned your father 30 years ago. 5. Your age, 19, is legally adult, but young for permanent medical decision. Required. Independent donor advocate. Assigned. Robert Chen, MSW. Psychological evaluation, scheduled, October 8th. Ethics Committee hearing, scheduled, October 15th, 2 p.m., 2-week cooling-off period after hearing before final consent. You must attend the hearing. Family may attend if you wish. Sincerely, Dr. Patricia Morrison, Chief Ethics Officer, OHSU. Emma forwarded the email to our family group chat. Emma. So apparently my body is now a committee decision. Tyler. Want us there? Emma. Yeah, I might need backup. Me, we'll be there. October 8th, 2025. Wednesday morning. I woke up to 17 missed calls. Tyler's phone had 12. Emma's had 47. I opened my email. Subject line from my hospital's PR department. Media inquiry RE, your family. Please call ASAP. I called Emma first. She answered on the first ring. Mom, we're on the front page of the Oregonian. What? Front page, above the fold. There's a picture of OHSU and everything. I pulled up the Oregonian website on my phone. There it was. Disgraced doctor's secret fortune. Australian pharmaceutical mogul seeks Oregon granddaughter for life-saving transplant. By Michael Torres, investigative reporter. Portland. A medical ethics case unfolding at Oregon Health and Science University has reignited debates about living organ donation, family obligation, and the role of money in medical decision-making. Walter Grayson, 66, a former Oregon physician whose medical license was revoked in 1993 for illegally prescribing controlled substances, has built a pharmaceutical consulting empire in Australia worth an estimated $10 million. Now dying from kidney failure, Grayson is seeking help from the family he abandoned 3 decades ago, specifically his 19-year-old granddaughter Emma Grayson, a pre-med freshman at Oregon State University. Emma, who has never met her grandfather, is reportedly an excellent transplant match. But the case is complicated. Grayson has named his estranged son, Tyler, as sole heir to his fortune, leading ethics experts to question whether the inheritance constitutes coercion. The article continued for 1,200 words. Quotes from medical ethicists at NYU and Stanford. Details of Tyler's childhood. Emma's academic achievements. A sidebar about living donor risks. And then, buried in paragraph 8, adding another layer, Emma's maternal grandparents, Dr. Jonathan and Dr. Rebecca Carlisle, prominent Portland physicians, disowned their daughter 19 years ago when she became pregnant with Emma. They could not be reached for comment. My phone rang. Tyler, did you see it? He asked. I'm reading it now. How the hell did this get out? I scrolled to the byline. Michael Torres, veteran investigative reporter, Pulitzer finalist in 2019. Insurance paperwork, I said, thinking out loud. Emma's student health insurance through Oregon State. The transplant evaluation forms would have included family medical history. Someone in the insurance processing chain must have leaked it. For how much? Does it matter? Tyler was quiet. Then, Emma's getting harassed. Her Instagram blew up overnight. 15,000 follower requests. Her roommate said someone from a local TV station showed up at their dorm. Where is she now? Driving home. She's skipping classes today. I told her to come here, lock the doors, turn off her phone. I'm leaving work now. I made calls. Hospital compliance. OHSU patient advocacy. Oregon State Student Services. Piece together what happened. September 28th. Emma filled out insurance verification form for OHSU transplant evaluation. Standard form. Included question. Family medical history. Any immediate relatives with current serious medical conditions? Emma wrote, grandfather, paternal, end-stage renal disease, currently on dialysis, Australia. The form went to Pacific Source Insurance, Oregon State's student health plan. They process thousands of forms a month. Most are handled by contract workers, not employees. One of those workers, we never got a name, saw the form. Googled Walter Grayson Australia kidney. Found business articles about his pharmaceutical consulting fortune. Sold the information to a journalist for $500. Not technically a HIPAA violation. Emma's form wasn't Walter's medical record, just a mention of his condition, gray area, legal barely. But legal doesn't mean right. By noon, the article had 2.3 million online views. Reddit's r/Portland exploded. Top comment, 18,000 upvotes. If my rich grandpa abandoned my dad, I wouldn't give him a Kleenex, let alone a kidney. Reply, 12,000 upvotes. But he's dying. She has 2 kidneys. She's pre-med. Isn't saving lives what doctors do? Reply to reply, 15,000 upvotes. She's 19 and there's $10 million involved. This is coercion. Period. Twitter was worse. Medical ethicist with 400,000 followers posted a thread. Living donation requires pure altruism. Financial incentive equals commodification of organs. This violates the National Organ Transplant Act. The Ethics Committee should deny this immediately. Christian influencer with 2 million followers. Honor thy father and grandfather. Forgiveness is divine. This young woman has the power to save a life. Pray she chooses mercy. Feminist account with 800,000 followers. A 19-year-old woman's body is not public property. Not her uterus, not her kidneys, hers, full stop. Emma's pre-med cohort at Oregon State was divided. Some thought she should donate. Commitment to healing. Hippocratic oath starts now. Others thought it was exploitative. She doesn't owe him anything. Family obligation is patriarchal bullshit. Her academic advisor called. Emma, do you need to take a leave of absence? This level of attention, it's a lot. Emma, according to Tyler, said, I just want to study in peace. Is that too much to ask? Apparently, yes. October 9th, 2025, 6:15 p.m. I was home. Tyler was making dinner. Emma was in her old room, door closed, trying to ignore the world. Doorbell rang. I opened it. My mother stood on the porch, holding a copy of The Oregonian, rain dripping off her umbrella. She looked old, 62, but she looked 70. Gray hair, shaking hands, expensive clothes that didn't quite hide how thin she'd gotten. Reagan, she said, her voice cracked. I saw the article. I didn't move, didn't speak. Can I come in? No. Please, I need to talk to you about Emma. You don't have a granddaughter, I said flatly. Your assistant told me that in 2006, remember? Her face crumpled. I was wrong. We were wrong. Reagan, please. Tyler appeared behind me. Silent, arms crossed. My mother saw him. Her expression flickered, something between shame and defiance. Mrs. Carlyle, Tyler said quietly, you should go. I need to talk to my daughter. Your daughter told you to leave. Rebecca's voice rose, desperate. Your father is sick. He has Parkinson's. Early stages, but it's progressing. The medication costs $3,000 a month. We're struggling, Reagan. And when I saw the article, saw that Emma might be caught up in this. You saw $10 million, I interrupted. That's what you saw. No, I saw my granddaughter being pressured into. You don't get to protect her now. You had 19 years, 19 birthdays, 19 Christmases, 19 first days of school. You weren't there. You chose not to be there. I'm trying to make amends. I laughed. Actually laughed. Bitter and sharp. Amends? You haven't apologized. You've just shown up when it's convenient. When there's money involved? When you can play the concerned grandmother for an audience. Tyler's voice cut through. Dr. Carlyle, let me be very clear. You told Reagan she was throwing away 4 generations of healers for me. You called my family disgraced. You said I was beneath your standards. Rebecca started to speak. Tyler kept going. Now you want in on that disgrace because there's money attached? Because my father, the man you used as evidence that I was worthless, turned out to be richer than you? Silence. Get off my porch, Tyler said. Not loud, not angry, just final. Rebecca turned to me. Reagan, please, don't shut me out again. I didn't shut you out, I said. You shut me out. I'm just closing the door you left open 19 years ago. I shut the door. My mother didn't leave. She stood on the porch crying. I could hear her through the door. Finally, she said, loud enough for us to hear, your father's Parkinson's medication is bankrupting us. We have savings, but it won't last forever. And if Emma donates, if this family becomes tied to the Graysons, everyone will know. Everyone will know you chose them over us. Do you understand what that will do to our reputation? Tyler opened the door, fast, angry. Your reputation, he repeated. That's what this is about. Not Emma's well-being, not Regan's feelings, your reputation. Rebecca's face went red. I've spent 30 years building. You spent 30 years building a lie, Tyler said. That you're a good mother, that you're a compassionate doctor, that you care about family. The article just exposed it. And now you're here trying to control the narrative. He stepped back. Leave, now, or I call the police. Rebecca left, got in her Lexus, still expensive, still polished, still projecting success. As she drove away, she rolled down her window, called out, If Emma donates, this will follow you forever. The daughter who crawled back to the disgraced family for money. Is that really what you want? I didn't answer. But I thought, I chose them 19 years ago. You just didn't notice. October 15th, 2025, 2 p.m., OHSU, Center for Ethics and Healthcare, 11th floor, Conference Room C, glass walls overlooking Portland, rain streaking the windows, the city gray and soft below. 7 committee members at the head table, Dr. Patricia Morrison, Chair, Chief Ethics Officer, Dr. David Kumar, Transplant Surgeon, Lisa Tran, MSW, Social Worker. Reverend Michael O'Brien, Community Ethicist. Judge Sarah Hendricks, Retired, Legal Counsel. Maria Gonzalez, RN, Patient Advocate. Dr. Elliot Marsh, Psychiatrist. Observers. 8 medical students, ethics training. 2 credentialed journalists. Robert Chen, Emma's independent donor advocate. Emma sat in the front row. Tyler on her left, me on her right. On a 75-inch screen. Walter Grayson, live via Zoom from Perth Renal Center. Hospital room visible behind him. Gaunt face. dialysis catheter in his neck, oxygen cannula. This was the first time Tyler had seen his father in 30 years. Dr. Morrison called the meeting to order. This ethics committee has been convened to evaluate whether Emma Grayson can provide informed, voluntary consent to serve as a living kidney donor for her grandfather, Walter Grayson. This is not a decision-making body. We cannot force Emma to donate or prevent her from donating. Our role is to ensure her autonomy is protected. She looked at Emma. Do you understand why you're here? Yes, Emma said. Her voice was steady. And you've been assigned an independent donor advocate, Robert Chen, who has no affiliation with OHSU or your family, correct? Correct. Then let's begin. Dr. Morrison addressed the screen. Mr. Grayson, you've requested the opportunity to speak. The floor is yours. Walter's voice was rough, weak, but clear. Thank you, Dr. Morrison. Committee members, Emma, Tyler. He coughed, took a breath. I'm calling from Sir Charles Gairdner Hospital in Perth. I understand you're evaluating whether my granddaughter can consent freely to donate her kidney. I want to be absolutely clear. I do not expect her to donate. I lost that right when I abandoned Tyler 30 years ago. Tyler's hands clenched on the armrest. Walter continued. I was a coward. I was an addict, not to drugs, but to the idea of fixing my mistakes by running from them. I lost my medical license in 1993 because I prescribed medications to wealthy patients in exchange for money to pay gambling debts. I destroyed my family. I destroyed my career. He paused. I ran to Australia, rebuilt a fortune in pharmaceutical consulting, but I can't rebuild trust. I can't undo leaving my 10-year-old son to grow up without a father. His eyes, on screen, pixelated, but still recognizable, found Tyler's. Tyler, if you're listening, you deserved better. You deserved a father who stayed, who showed up, who didn't choose shame over responsibility. I can't give you that now, but I can tell you, the man you became, the father you are to Emma, that's not my DNA. That's yours. Silence in the room. Dr. Morrison. Mr. Grayson, what happens to the inheritance if Emma declines to donate? She inherits anyway, through Tyler. The trust is irrevocable. My lawyers can confirm that. I made peace with dying. What I haven't made peace with is never apologizing to my son. This hearing, it's the closest I'll get. Judge Hendricks spoke up. For the record, I've reviewed the trust documents. Mr. Grayson is correct. The inheritance is not conditional on Emma's decision regarding donation. Dr. Morrison nodded. Noted. Mr. Grayson, thank you. Please remain available via Zoom. The door opened. My mother walked in. Emma didn't turn around. Tyler's jaw clenched. I felt ice slide down my spine. Dr. Morrison, this is a closed proceeding. I'm Dr. Rebecca Carlisle, my mother said loudly, head of pediatrics at Portland Children's Hospital. I'm Emma's maternal grandmother, and I have concerns about this proceeding. Dr. Morrison's face hardened. Dr. Carlisle, unless you have information directly relevant to Emma's medical capacity to consent, I'm going to ask you to leave. I have concerns about coercion, Rebecca said, moving to the front of the room. Emma is 19, technically an adult, but neurologically, her prefrontal cortex won't fully develop until age 25. She's pre-med, which means she's been socialized to believe doctors save lives at any cost. The financial incentive of $10 million creates unconscionable pressure. She turned to the committee. And frankly, the medical community should not be endorsing a system where estranged family members can essentially buy organs through inheritance structures. Don't know what else to call you. You don't know what else to call you. You haven't been my grandmother for 19 years. You don't get to be my grandmother now because there's money or press involved. Rebecca's mouth opened. Emma kept going. You want to talk about medical socialization? I'm pre-med because my mom showed me you can work in medicine without being cruel. She codes surgeries so patients don't go bankrupt. That's healing too. Emma's voice stayed calm, clinical. You talk about coercion? You put my mother on the street when she was pregnant with me. You refused to meet me. You told her she had no daughter. The only pressure I feel is from people who think they own my choices, people like you." The room was silent. Rebecca's face had gone pale. Judge Hendricks spoke quietly. "Dr. Carlisle, unless you have information directly relevant to Emma's medical capacity, please refrain from further comment." Rebecca sat down in the back row, didn't speak again. Dr. Elliot Marsh opened a folder. "I conducted a 90-minute psychological evaluation of Emma Grayson on October 12th, standard assessment for living donor candidates." He read from his notes. "Cognitive capacity, intact. Emma demonstrates advanced understanding of medical risks, including mortality risk, long-term kidney disease risk, and pregnancy complications. Coercion screening, no evidence of family pressure. Emma reports that her parents explicitly told her, quote, 'Your choice, no judgment.' She feels supported regardless of her decision." Financial motive assessment. Emma is aware of the inheritance. When asked about it, she stated, "I don't make medical decisions based on money. If I did, I'd probably donate for $10 million, but I might not. That's the point." Dr. Marsh looked up. Psychological readiness. Emma is conflicted, appropriately conflicted. She's weighing complex ethical factors: family obligation, bodily autonomy, mortality risk, long-term health. This is healthy decision-making, not dysfunction. He closed the folder. "My clinical opinion: Emma Grayson has full capacity to consent or refuse donation. She does not require additional counseling unless she requests it." Dr. Morrison turned to Emma. "Emma, you've heard testimony from your grandfather, your grandmother, and Dr. Marsh's evaluation. This committee's role is not to tell you what to decide. It's to ensure you're free to decide. Do you feel free to make this choice?" Emma took a breath. "I feel observed, but free? I'll feel free when everyone gets out of my business and lets me make a decision without turning it into a national ethics debate." Scattered laughter from the medical students. Dr. Morrison smiled slightly. "Understood. Emma, before we conclude, do you have anything you'd like to say?" "Actually," Emma said, "yes." I raised my hand. "Dr. Morrison, may I speak?" She looked surprised. "Mrs. Hardin, you're not a required party to this hearing." "I know, but I have information relevant to the question of external pressure on Emma. Specifically, who's actually been pressuring her?" Dr. Morrison considered. "Proceed." I stood, pulled out a folder I'd prepared, handed copies to the committee clerk who distributed them. "I'd like to submit evidence. Document 1. Email, July 18, 2006. Projected on the screen for everyone to see. From Regan Carlisle. To Dr. Jonathan Carlisle. Subject: Please, Mom. Dad. Emma is due August 12th. The ultrasound shows she's healthy. Tyler got promoted to journeyman electrician. We found a small apartment in East Side. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm asking you to meet your granddaughter. Just once, please. Reagan. Response: from Patricia Henderson, Executive Assistant, to Regan Carlisle. Sent July 19, 2006, 8:02 a.m. Dr. and Dr. Carlisle have asked me to inform you that they have no granddaughter. Please do not contact this email again. Silence in the room. I continued. My parents had no contact with Emma for 19 years. No birthday cards, no Christmas gifts, no acknowledgement of her existence. Document 2. The Oregonian article, October 8, 2025. Highlighted section. Adding another layer. Emma's maternal grandparents, Dr. Jonathan and Dr. Rebecca Carlisle, prominent Portland physicians, could not be reached for comment. They had no comment, I said, until they saw the words $10 million trust. Document 3. Text message screenshot, October 9, 2025. From Rebecca Carlisle to Regan Hardin. Sent 7:42 p.m. We should discuss Emma's decision as a family. Your father and I have medical expertise that could guide her. From Regan Hardin to Rebecca Carlisle. Sent 7:45 p.m. You're not family, you made that clear 19 years ago. Document 4. Medical record, November 2006. Emergency room visit, Legacy Emmanuel Hospital. Patient, Regan Carlisle, 19F, 7 months pregnant. Chief complaint, abdominal cramping, stress-induced, social history, recently displaced from family home, living in vehicle, no family support. Diagnosis, Braxton Hicks contractions, severe stress. I looked at the committee. I was 7 months pregnant, living in Tyler's truck. I had stress-induced contractions. The ER social worker asked if I had family support. I said no. My voice stayed calm, factual. My parents are doctors who abandoned a patient, their daughter. Walter Grayson is a disgraced doctor who's trying to apologize. I don't forgive either of them, but only one of them is honest about what they are. Rebecca in the back row had her head down, crying silently. Dr. Morrison looked at the documents, then at me. Mrs. Hardin, thank you for this context. It's illuminating. She turned to the committee. Any questions for Mrs. Hardin? Silence. Then let's move to Emma's statement. Dr. Morrison addressed Emma directly. Emma, you've been medically cleared, psychologically cleared. This committee finds you have full capacity to make this decision without coercion. The question is simple. Do you consent to donate your kidney to Walter Grayson? Emma stood, looked at the committee, at Walter on the screen, at Tyler and me. Then she spoke. No. Pause. Let it land. Not because of the money, not because of my grandparents, either set, but because I'm 19, and I want to have kids someday, and I want to finish medical school, and I want to know that if my kidney ever fails, I have a backup. Her voice was steady, clear. I want to be a doctor who saves lives, but I can't save everyone, and I shouldn't have to destroy my own body to prove I'm compassionate. She looked at the screen, at Walter. Walter, I'm sorry. I hope you find another donor, but it won't be me. Tyler stood, wrapped Emma in a hug, tight. I squeezed her hand, whispered, I'm proud of you. On screen, Walter nodded slowly, his eyes were wet. Thank you for considering it, Emma. That's more than I deserved. Dr. Morrison stood. This committee finds that Emma Grayson has made an informed, voluntary decision to decline donation. Her autonomy is affirmed. This hearing is concluded. As people filed out, a journalist approached Emma. Can I quote you for a follow-up article? Emma looked at him, exhausted, but firm. Only if you quote this, my body, my choice, end of story. October 15th, 4:30 p.m. I-5 South, driving home from the hearing. Tyler drove, I sat passenger seat, Emma in the back, headphones on, staring out the window. We didn't talk for 20 minutes. Finally, Tyler broke the silence. You okay, Em? Emma pulled out one earbud. I think so. I keep waiting to feel guilty, but I just feel tired. Guilt is what other people try to put on you, I said. You don't have to carry it. Do you think Walter hates me? Tyler glanced in the rearview mirror. No. I think he understands exactly what it's like to make a hard choice and live with it. Emma nodded, put her earbud back in. My phone buzzed. Email from Ashworth and Klein. Mrs. Hardin, Mr. Grayson asked me to convey a message to Emma. Thank you for your honesty. The inheritance proceeds as planned. No conditions, no resentment. Respectfully, Jonathan Ashworth. I showed it to Tyler. He read it, nodded once. We drove the rest of the way in silence. October 17th. The Oregonian published a follow-up. She said no. Oregon teen declines billionaire grandfather's transplant request. By Michael Torres. In a decision that challenges conventional narratives about family obligation, 19-year-old Emma Grayson has declined to donate a kidney to her estranged grandfather, Walter Grayson, despite being an excellent medical match. My body, my choice, end of story, Emma told this reporter after an Oregon Health and Science University Ethics Committee hearing Tuesday. The decision, while surprising to some, was praised by medical ethicists as a powerful assertion of bodily autonomy. The article was fair, balanced, included quotes from the ethics committee affirming Emma's capacity, mentioned Rebecca's disruption, and my receipts. Views: 1.8 million, less than the first article, but more shares. Public reaction shifted. Reddit comment: 45,000 upvotes. She's 19 and just taught the medical establishment that no is a complete sentence. That's more impressive than any kidney donation. Bioethics professor, Twitter thread, 200,000 likes. Emma Grayson's case will be taught in medical ethics classes for decades. Bodily autonomy isn't conditional on wealth, family ties, or public opinion. She understood that at 19. Most people never do. Feminist Journal. Radical Self-Preservation. What Emma Grayson taught us about women's bodies and medical autonomy. Emma posted once on Instagram. First post in 2 weeks. I'm not a headline, I'm a student. Please let me study in peace. Comments were overwhelmingly supportive. She turned off her phone after that, went back to Oregon State, caught up on the classes she'd missed. Midterm exams, straight A's, October 20th. My mother texted, Rebecca, Reagan, please, can we talk? Not about Walter. About us. Me. There is no us. There hasn't been for 19 years. Rebecca. I made a mistake. Your father is sick. We don't have much time. Me. You had 19 years. Emma had 19 birthdays, 19 Christmases, 19 first days of school. You chose not to be there. Don't weaponize Dad's Parkinson's to guilt me now. Rebecca. I'm trying to make amends. Me. Amends require accountability. You haven't apologized. You've just shown up when it's convenient. Rebecca. Please don't shut me out again. Me. I didn't shut you out. You shut me out. I'm just closing the door you left open. I blocked her number, blocked her email, blocked her on every platform I could think of. Tyler did the same. Emma kept her unblocked. In case of emergency, she said. But muted. No notifications. Emma asked me later, do you think you'll ever talk to them again? I thought about it. I don't know, but I know I don't owe them forgiveness just because they finally realized what they lost. Fair, Emma said. November 2025. Walter's health declined rapidly. The lawyers kept us updated. Professional, distant, respectful of our boundaries. December 15th. Email from Ashworth and Klein. Tyler, Mr. Grayson's prognosis is now weeks, not months. He remains on the Australian transplant waitlist, but given his deteriorating condition, a match is unlikely in time. He asked me to convey, thank you for listening, that's all I needed. We will notify you of any changes. December 28th. Another email. Tyler, Mr. Grayson is dictating this message as his hands are no longer steady enough to type. Attached was a voice memo, converted to text. Tyler, I don't have long. I want you to know. Emma made the right choice. I'm relieved she said no. Not because I wanted to die, but because I didn't want her to carry me for the rest of her life. She deserves to be light. The money is yours. Use it however you want. I hope some goes to Emma's medical school, not because she owes me anything, but because she's already a better healer than I ever was, and she hasn't even started yet. I'm sorry I wasn't your father. You became a better man without me than you ever would have with me. Walter. Tyler read it alone in the garage. His workshop. The place he went to think. I found him there an hour later. He'd been crying. Tools spread out on the workbench, untouched. He's right, Tyler said quietly. Emma did make the right choice. I sat next to him. Didn't say anything. I'm not glad he's dying, Tyler continued. But I'm glad she said no, because she chose herself. And that's what I've been trying to teach her since she was born, that she matters, that she's enough, that she doesn't have to sacrifice herself to prove her worth. He wiped his eyes. She learned it. That's all I ever wanted. January 15th, 2026. Walter Kenneth Grayson died in Perth. Age 66. Cause of death: Complications from end-stage renal disease. The lawyers notified us via email. Professional. Brief. No dramatics. January 20th, 2026. Inheritance processed. 10.2 million US dollars transferred to Tyler James Grayson. No conditions, no challenges. The trust included a note. This is not payment. This is apology. February 2026. We sat at the kitchen table, same table where we'd had the first conversation about Walter. Tyler spread out financial documents, estate summary, bank statements, investment accounts. We need to decide what to do with this, he said. I looked at him. It's your inheritance, your choice. It's our family, Tyler said. Our choice. Emma, home from Oregon State for the weekend, nodded. What do you want to do? Tyler had already been thinking. Of course he had. I want to make sure you never have to choose between medical school and debt. And I want to help people who got kicked out like your mom did. We made a plan. Emma's education fund, $500,000, covers undergrad, med school, living expenses, no loans, no debt, freedom. Grayson Electric expansion, $1 million. Hire 5 more electricians. Focus on low-income housing. Rewiring old homes where families can't afford safety upgrades. Sliding scale payment. Nobody gets turned away. Second chance. Family fund. $2 million. Grants for young parents disowned by families. Housing deposits. Medical bills. Childcare. Education. No strings attached. Emergency fund. $1 million. Family security. Medical expenses. Life's curveballs. Charitable donations. $3 million. Split between OHSU transplant research, foster care support, Oregon Health Plan expansion advocacy, investment/savings, $2.7 million, long-term security. Emma's kids someday, Tyler's retirement. First recipient of the Second Chance Family Fund, a 22-year-old woman named Ashley, pregnant, kicked out by religious parents for refusing to give the baby up for adoption. She applied after reading about Emma's story, wrote, "Your family showed me that love doesn't require DNA. I want to prove that to my baby too." Grant, $15,000. First month's rent, security deposit, baby supplies, medical bills. Tyler met her once, handed her the check. She cried. "You don't have to thank me," Tyler said. "Just be the parent you wish you'd had." March 2026. Emma went back to Oregon State. Campus life had calmed down. The news cycle moved on. She was just another pre-med student again. Mostly. Her bioethics professor asked her to guest lecture. Personal experience with medical decision-making under public scrutiny. Emma declined. "I'd rather write about it than talk about it." She wrote an essay instead, for her Ethics 301 class. Prompt: describe a time you made a controversial ethical decision. Emma's opening line: I said no to my dying grandfather. The world called me selfish. I call it survival. Both can be true. She got an A+. The professor asked to submit it to the Journal of Medical Ethics, student section. Emma said yes, summer 2026. Emma applied for an internship at OHSU Ethics Committee. Paid position, competitive. She got it. Her first day, Dr. Patricia Morrison, the woman who'd chaired Emma's own hearing, shook her hand. "I'm glad you're here," Dr. Morrison said. "We need people who understand that saying no is just as important as saying yes." Emma smiled. "That's what I want to teach doctors, that patients are allowed to refuse. Even family, even when it's hard." "Good," Dr. Morrison said. "Start by auditing next week's donor evaluation. See if you can spot coercion red flags." Emma was already taking notes. April 2026. I did something I'd never done before. I Googled Walter Grayson's obituary. Found it. Perth Remembrance Gardens. Online memorial page. Photos of Walter. Young. Medical school graduation, 1985. Middle-aged. Australia. Accepting some business award, 2010. Old. Recent photo, thin and tired. A guest book. People had left messages. Brilliant consultant. Tough negotiator. Generous mentor. Walter helped me build my pharmaceutical distribution company. I owe him everything. A complicated man. Flawed but honest about his flaws. I scrolled to the bottom. Clicked. Leave a message. Typed. Walter, I never met you. You hurt my husband in ways I'll never fully understand. But you also gave us something unexpected. The truth. You didn't pretend the money erased your mistakes. You didn't demand forgiveness. You let Emma say no. That's more respect than my own parents ever gave me. I don't forgive you for abandoning Tyler, but I respect that you didn't abandon your apology. Rest in peace. Reagan Harden. I hit submit, never told Tyler. 3 months later, Tyler mentioned he'd visited the memorial page. I saw your message, he said. I froze. I'm sorry. I should have asked. No, Tyler interrupted. It was good. True, fair. He paused. I don't forgive him either, but I'm glad you wrote that. It's more than he deserved, which, I guess, is the point of grace. April 18th, 2026, 7:30 p.m. Emma was home for spring break, last night before heading back to Oregon State. Tyler cooked lasagna, his specialty. The kitchen smelled like garlic and basil and home. Emma helped with dishes. I watched them, this family we'd built. Emma turned to me, drying a plate. Mom, can I ask you something? Always. Do you regret choosing Dad over your parents? I thought about it, really thought. I regret that they made me choose, I said finally. That's different. Different how? Regret isn't about the choice I made. It's about the choice they forced on me. I chose love. I chose dignity. I chose a partner who showed up. I don't regret that. I regret that my parents couldn't see past their pride. Emma nodded slowly. Do you think they'll ever apologize? Like, really apologize? I don't know, but I'm not waiting around to find out. Tyler from the stove. You two are my family. That's enough. Emma smiled. Is it weird that I don't feel like I'm missing anything? Like, I know I should want grandparents, but you had everything you needed, I said. Love isn't about biology. It's about who shows up. Later that night, after Emma went to bed, Tyler and I sat on the porch, rain falling, classic Portland spring. We did okay, didn't we? Tyler asked. We did better than okay. We built something they couldn't destroy. Emma's going to be an amazing doctor. She already is. She just doesn't have the degree yet. Tyler took my hand, electrician's calluses, warm. We sat in silence, listening to the rain. People ask me if I have regrets. Here's what I regret. I regret that my parents couldn't see past their pride. I regret that Walter waited 30 years to apologize. I regret that Emma had to make a choice no 19-year-old should face. But I don't regret Tyler. I don't regret Emma. I don't regret saying no to people who only valued me when I was useful. My parents taught me that family is about bloodlines. Tyler taught me that family is about showing up. And Emma? Emma taught me that saying no, even when the whole world is watching, is the most powerful form of self-respect. My name is Reagan Harden. I'm 38 years old, and I haven't spoken to my parents in 19 years. I'm okay with that. We all are.